Hey, what's going on, guys? So in the last video, you saw me mock up my forward link with PVC. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to turn this into this. But hey, even if you're just here to see how to build some links, stick around. I'm gonna show you guys some pretty cool tricks that'll make it super easy. All right, guys, so the first thing you want to do when building your links is you want to get out all your heims, inserts, jam nuts, and get organized and get them assembled. So as you can see, I've already got mine assembled. I have them all in order, so top to bottom, it's my uppers and then my lowers. And then one side is going to be my standard thread. The opposite side is going to be my reverse thread. Now, that's really important. But real quick, I wanted to show you guys something really cool that Barnes 4-wheel drive did with their heims. So with their standard thread heim, they didn't put any markings, nothing, right? So it's all smooth jam nut, smooth insert. And then when you look at the reverse thread, the jam nut has these little notches. And then there's a groove on the insert. And I thought that was really cool because it kind of helps you make sure that, you know, there's no mix-up. You know, the whole concept of how these links work is, you know, you rotate the center and the link will extend or it will shorten. But if you have two standards or two reverse threads on the same link, what ends up happening is you spin the tube and the tube just slides up and down the threads, but it doesn't extend or shorten. So it's really important to stay organized. And if you end up having heims from somebody that doesn't mark them, it's really important, like get a Sharpie, mark on it left and right or reverse or something so you know which is which. So now that everything's laid out and organized and assembled, we're ready to start doing some math to get our DOM tubing marked and cut. Now, depending on whether or not you did a setup link like I did out of PVC, or if you're going off your link brackets, it's going to kind of decide how you're going to go about that. Now, if you didn't do a setup link and you're just measuring off your brackets, there's really two ways to do it. The easiest would probably be to throw your misalignment spacers into your heims, set them up in there, and get your measurement that way. Now, the other way you could do it is go your eyelid hole to eyelid hole center, and you're going to go and subtract center of the eyelid on the heim back to your insert, the beveled edge of your insert. Now, the way that I'm going to go about it is I'm doing all my measurements based off the mocked up link, but I still have to subtract a little bit. So when I set mine up, I took, the inserts don't fit inside the PVC. So I just put my jam nut all the way down the threads and then use the PVC over the threads. Now, because of that, I need to give myself some adjustability. But then on top of that, I also have to give myself some room for the beveled edge on the insert. So on the lower links, the beveled edge is about a 1/2 inch each. So that's already an inch that I have to subtract. Now, I also want to have about a 1/4 inch of thread showing on each heim. So that gives me another 1/2 inch. So that puts me at subtracting from my PVC length 1.5 inches. So my PVC length was 31 3/4. So it's going to bring me down to 30 1/4. Now, that's going to be just for the lowers. Now, the uppers are thinner walls, so the inserts are actually going to have less of a bevel. So the beveled edge is going to be, on these, it's about 3/8 of an inch. So that changes my math just a little bit. It's going to make my actual DOM tubing length, I believe it was 30. I measured it. I actually wrote it down here. It's 30.5. So my uppers, for the DOM tubing on the uppers, it's going to be at 30.5. My lowers is going to be at 30 1/4. Now, the reason that's what I'm cutting it at is because I like to try to get my inserts about flush with the end of the threads. That gives me that about 1/4 inch of thread showing. And that gives me about a 1/2 inch total of adjustability in. And usually from my experience, that's more than enough. I try to spend my time during setup to get everything as close as I can, and then I just need a little bit of adjustability on the uppers to be able to get my pinion angle right. So it's not too crazy. I don't need a lot of adjustability. I just want to keep it, having a little bit to where I have some room to mess with it. So I'm going to get this DOM tubing marked and then get it cut, and we're going to move on to the next step. All right, so now that we got all the links cut, now the next thing we got to do is we got to bevel the edge. That way we have a way to sit the weld down into it and get good penetration, especially on that lower link. That lower link is super thick. Okay guys, so I got everything done. All the ends are beveled, all the inserts are in. I've triple checked myself, making sure I have a reverse thread on one side and a standard on the other. So I'm ready to start welding. Now I got out my wire wheel. Unfortunately I ran out of shielding gas and it's the weekend, so I'm going to be doing this with flux core so I can get it done. But there's a lot of different ways that people talk about how to weld these so you don't get the threads screwed up with any spatter. Now, I've seen people talk about welding with your heims in. Don't do that. That's a terrible idea. You put too much heat into it and it seizes, you're screwed. You also put too much heat into them, and like mine has, they're an upgraded heim, so they have a bushing inside. You don't want to put a lot of heat into those. And then on top of that, if anything goes wrong and it seizes to it, that's a lot of money for no reason. Not only are you out the DOM tubing, you're now out the insert and the heim. So it's better just to try to limit, how much can go wrong. So the other way I've seen people talk about is weld downhill. That way the spatter can't get in, or they talk about using anti-spatter sprays, or like there's some jelly type anti-spatter stuff you can put on up into the tube, but that stuff always catches fire. I don't like using that. So I'm gonna show you guys kind of a super easy way. I got a piece of scrap steel. It's great. It's cut at an angle so it stands on its own. I'm gonna butt that up against the end. Now the spatter can't get in onto the threads. So now I got to do several passes on especially the lower link. The lower link is so thick, it's going to probably take 2 passes. So that's hence why I got the wire wheel out, so I can, knock off all the slag and keep going. So now that everything's cooled off and cleaned up, now we're going to start assembling them. So like I said before, we're just looking for the notch. The notch is going to mean reverse thread. We're just going to match it up with that end of each link. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. We got the links all built. They're assembled. They're in. And it's awesome. So hopefully some of these tips and tricks will help some of you guys that are building your links at home. Up on the next video, we're going to be working on the coilover towers, the brackets, and getting them measured and getting the coilovers in and buttoned up. So until then, like, subscribe. If you got any comments, questions, or suggestions, leave them down below. I try to get back to everybody that leaves any comments on my videos. Until next time, guys, have a good one.